Hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Monday, November 10th, 2025. We are already barreling through November. I can't believe it. Day 40 of the shutdown. Maybe it's about to end. You are tuned into the Ted Manila Information Show, TMI Show for short, because we bring you way too much information. I would be the M of the show, Manila Chan. Ted Rall, just hopping over now from Deprogram. And welcome to all you deprogrammers. Hope you guys stick around. We do have a lot of fun and laughs on this show about all the news because, I mean, what else can you do? Right? So, this is a different vibe for a mid morning show than what you're probably used to. And, it's probably not very safe for work. So, you might want to turn the volume down. We do it live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So, please be sure to hit the like, the follow, the subscribe, and the share button. If you share us on social media, it really, really does go a long way to help our little show continue to grow. We've been at this just over a year now, and we are finally starting to be able to pay the bills. So please keep that up. We've been trying really hard since we all got laid off last year, right around this time. So hopefully you guys stick around and share our content. And there's Ted. Because yeah, we've made some progress, Ted. We're finally able to start paying the bills, is what I was saying.
That's true. Not the big bills.
No, but I mean, at least the
That
bills to
flamethrower
run
drone
these
is not
shows.
going to pay for itself, people.
That's true. Ted has been saying that's what he wants for Christmas for a long time.
Yeah, for every Christmas.
You want multiple
Come on.
flamethrower
Yeah, I
drones?
mean, if one flamethrower drone is good, 5 is 5 times better.
What would you do? You would just have like a flamethrower drone war?
Fleet. I'd have
Like
a fleet
battle?
of them. No, I mean, it's peace through strength, Manila. I mean, the more strength I
makes
have,
sense.
the less war there will be.
Yes. I totally subscribe.
It's just
to
like the
that.
military. It's like the U.S. military. We have the largest military on earth, and the United States never uses it to start wars.
Obviously, totally defensive, and that's why we need the biggest budget more than the 10 other countries that follow us.
That's correct.
That's because that's how that totally works. All right, so with that, we're getting better at sticking to our timeline. So let's hop over to the Jaws and hop to the news and have some laughs. All right, so first up, as I mentioned at the top of the show, um, the federal shutdown may or may not come to an end today. Maybe we'll talk about that further when Ted does his read. But I'm going to tell you how it plays into this story. That obviously I'm not that new of a mom anymore. My kid's 7 now, so but still, relative to most people my age, I have a very young child. So this is something that really bothers me. It's um regarding babies and old people, Ted. I've really just I would say the bulk of my life always been done some sort of advocacy for babies and old people because they are the most vulnerable in our society.
Well, they say old people are the future.
Well, nowadays, if you're in Japan, especially, definitely. But especially with America's declining birth rate, I don't think we can afford to have this problem. So federal health officials are investigating a multi-state outbreak of infant botulism. And no, they are not getting Botox, Ted. I know people are, worried about all those baby wrinkles and rolls. This is not
it's a
that.
huge problem.
It is, but this is not that. This baby botulism.
Well, we're doing everything we can to make the babies as thin as possible in Gaza.
Yeah, we've done that in Gaza successfully, Ted.
Yeah.
So this botulism here in the U.S. is linked to something called a company called ByHeart baby formula, prompting the company to recall 2 batches of one particular product, if that makes sense. 13 babies in 10 states have already been hospitalized as a result of this outbreak. The FDA and CDC said, thankfully, no deaths have yet been reported. They have recalled 2 batches. You'll have to go to the CDC website. They'll give you the batch numbers that you can compare with a use by date of December 1st of this year. It is on their whole nutrition infant formula, according to the FDA. So you can go to the FDA website, you can go to the CDC website. However, like if I were one of these new moms using this, like if I have that brand, I don't care what batch, it's in the garbage. It's goodbye.
That's total. That would be my approach too.
Just don't bother trying to be like, you got to get a refund. No, throw it away. It's your baby. Throw it away. The code and date can be found on the bottom of the container. Like if you really must know. I mean, I'd probably be one of those people too. I must know, but I would still definitely cease use of it. So infant botulism is contracted when the babies swallow spores from the bacteria called uh, Clostridium botulinum, which makes toxins inside the baby's large intestine. That's all according to the CDC. Symptoms of infant botulism include poor feeding, loss of head control, difficulty swallowing and breathing, decreased facial expression. So that's where the Botox, right, Ted? Like this is where it comes from. Decreased facial expression, and a weaker and or altered cry. In some cases, it can be fatal. The symptoms can take as long as several weeks to develop, says the CDC. So the 13 cases linked to the ByHeart formula, ByHeart, were reported in Arizona, California, Illinois, Minnesota, New Jersey, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Texas, and Washington State. The affected children range from around 2 weeks old to 5 months old. And these are sold nationwide, and they market themselves as the next gen of baby formula that gets closest to breast milk. So the company, though, says no toxins related to botulism had been found directly in its product. The Department of Health and Human Services, which is the umbrella parent group for FDA and CDC, haven't immediately responded to all of this, but the FDA officials collected leftover infant formula for testing, presumably from those families that took their babies to the hospitals. The FDA urged parents and caregivers to obviously seek immediate care if your kid has consumed any of these products, and immediately discontinue use. So yes, this time I am with the CDC in saying, yes, discontinue use. But thankfully, ByHeart makes up less than 1% of the baby formula market here in the US. So it's a small, like, niche market, but even still, like, it's in multiple states. And I mean, 1% of the millions and millions of baby formula canisters that get sold every year, that's a lot. So, Ted,
that is a lot.
I think, did it happen when you and I had our Sputnik show, the baby formula shortage, or was I with Jamaro? It might have been.
That must have been a Jamal thing. I remember that my baby formula thing was the thing in China with the tainted milk.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I like how they handled it over there.
I don't remember how they
executed the CEO of the company on national television.
No, get out. Did they really?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
They took it seriously, to say the least. Yeah.
When was that?
I want to say that was about, I'm guesstimating, but I'm going to say this was maybe about 13 years ago, 12 years ago.
Wow. Well, I mean,
no fucking around, man, with the Chinese.
Seriously, like that's.
He fucked around, as Robbie would say, he found out.
Well, as Robbie would say, China is a serious country, unlike the United States.
It's a very serious country.
And so, like, just a couple of years ago when we had this baby formula shortage, so it would have been in 2022, I think, 2022, summer of 2022, we had to go to the European Union and beg for their baby formula because there were shortages on American shelves, Ted. Like, this is insane. This is nuts. But now this is a different thing because the baby formula, as most of us know, is FDA regulated. So you have to have an inspector go to your factory, go to your plant, go to, like, go to your compounding sites or whatever. The FDA has to clear everything. And earlier when I said that this government shutdown, I'm not blaming it on the government shutdown because this obviously happened before the shutdown. This kind of contamination happened before the shutdown was even a twinkle in the Republicans' eye.
Mhm.
This though just shows the greater dilapidation of infrastructure in the United States to maintain safety controls for some of America's most vulnerable populations. And not only can we not keep them on the shelves, but the things that we do put on the shelves prove to be fucking dangerous, prove to be like potentially fatal to innocent babies. Like this should be such an embarrassment. Like, we should never have a story like this in a supposed first world nation that we're in. Ted, we're not hearing about botulism outbreaks like, I don't know, in Russia. We're not hearing about
Nope.
botulism outbreaks in China.
I
But
have to
here,
wonder if if this is attributable to insufficient inspection at the production
yeah,
level. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. This
yeah.
is it's a breakdown from in the whole infrastructure of safety protocols.
And to your
Look,
point about throwing it out regardless of the lot number, I also would not take comfort in living in a state that has not yet been announced as being part of the affected issue.
yes. Right. Just because your state's not listed doesn't mean I would just throw it out, period. No matter
Out
what
of an
state you're
abundance
in.
of caution, chuck it.
Yeah. Like $20 or risk botulism for your baby. Like, I mean,
No.
come on. Just no, thank you. But this to me just really, because I have a young child, pisses me off to no end that I know, for all the new moms out there, that they can't take a moment off. Like it wasn't that long ago that I got, days on end with zero sleep. It wasn't that long ago that I was, like nursing and trying to pump breast milk when I still had, breast tissue. Uh, it wasn't those nights weren't that long ago for me. I still remember. And you want to be able to rely, Ted, on doctors and professionals like inspectors and whatever, the whole apparatus to have your back. You know what I mean? To
Mm-hmm.
take a little bit of a load off of a new mom's like manic and crazy brain because you've got your hormones going, you're not getting any sleep. And now you have to worry that you might be giving your baby poison at every freaking turn. That's horrible. Like, it's just a
Mm-hmm.
horrible what a horrible position to be in. It's like things are less safe now in 2025 than they were, let's say, in 1980 when I would have been, using formula. Like, this is not this is crazy. This is just what happened to our country and all the controls and the protocols that we had in place. I think we moved all that money, Ted, into the DOD.
Yes, we did. Well, we moved all of our money into the DOD. Or it's the
It-
DOW now.
Oh, I know. Are we supposed to call it's not that's not official, right? Department of
No,
War.
it's not really official.
They're calling old Petey their Secretary of War. That was the official name back in the day, anyway.
That's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess they're going retro vibes. But can we go retro vibes with like baby care and how can we do that? If we're gonna do anything retro, can we like go back to if you're gonna feed kids milk or whatever, have milk, can it be in glass jars? Can we have the milkman again?
Well, maybe. Yeah.
Can we allow fresh milk? Can we
I
do
miss
that?
it. It was so good. Are you old enough to have had milk delivered to your
Milk delivery?
house?
No, no. By 1980, they didn't have
When
that.
I was a kid, it still happened. It was nice. I remember it tasting good too.
Was it
Better.
pasteurized?
I think it was probably.
I don't know
Let's
when the
see.
pasteurization laws came into effect.
There's a little bit of breaking news. The Supreme Court's announcing a lot of shit right now.
There's a lot of things
The
rolling
court
out.
just said that it will hear a challenge to a Mississippi law that could end up changing mail balloting rules. Oh, so this is that thing about like whether your mail-in ballot has to be received by election day or not.
Mm.
I think it's dumb because it's like it should be postmarked by election day because I mean it's
That's
really
the current law, isn't it?
that's the current
Postmarked
law,
by.
but Mississippi says it has to be received by election day. But like here's the thing, you drop it in the mail, you don't control how long it takes to get to the Board of Elections, right? I mean, the post
Yeah,
office
yeah.
determines that. So it just seems like, oh, so you could be disenfranchised because Trump's atrocious postmaster general refuses to deliver your mail on time. Not to mention there's
That's
that
true.
chicanery that we know, can happen in government.
No, that's fair.
Postmark should
I
be
think
good enough.
postmark.
Or look, honestly, I would be okay if you said has to be postmarked a week before the election, let's say.
Right. Base it on postmark, but yeah. I think that's fair. Base it on the postmark, and if
And by the way, I could see
it's a
like
different
wanting
date,
it to
then
be
fine.
mailed before election day. It's more likely to be counted then on election day.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. I've voted from abroad by mail before, so yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't
get
you
that.
normally have to like for a mail-in ballot, like for like an absentee ballot? Doesn't that usually have to be mailed in like a number of
Like
weeks
way
before?
ahead.
Like a
Yeah.
month?
Way ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I lived abroad, it was way ahead. So
Yeah, it's not like you don't know election day is coming,
yeah. No, there's a lot of stuff that SCOTUS is. Are these on their emergency docket?
I don't know. I think this is not emergency
Or
docket
regular?
because it's a
Okay.
whole it's regular.
Oh, okay. Well, all I know is the Trump admin under AG Bondi, they filed like a shit ton of stuff under emergency docket. So
Yeah, that's how they do things.
Which-
Everything's in the Trump administration. Everything's an emergency. It's an emergency.
Things-
Someone's at the door.
things
It's an
that are
emergency.
not. Like these things are not. Like, are you
It's
like
like living with
asking to
someone with
overturn gay
borderline
marriage as an emergency?
It's like literally the administration has borderline personality disorder. Everything's like, holy shit, we're all gonna die.
Everything's an emergency. Oh my god. Yeah. So that's kind of what they're rolling with in the Trump admin.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I know they were trying to get gay marriage overturned, and it's an emergency, Ted. Too many gays are getting married.
Like, God help us all.
Oh my god. Okay. Before we move on to the next story, I gotta do a word from our first sponsor,
Yay
which
for
I'm always
having
happy.
sponsors. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm always happy to do this sponsor because really they make this show possible. So, all right. So you've probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And we vouch for that. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite content creators. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and the content you actually care about. That's the deal. All right. And I agree, Ted. Like that's really like Rumble has really been key to us actually being able to start paying some of these bills. Like without them, gosh, their pay plan is so much better than like what YouTube offers. I mean, sadly, YouTube has all the reach, but they've also been around for 20 some odd years,
Yeah.
So hopefully that changes in the future because
we like them both for different reasons.
No, speak for yourself. I do not like YouTube.
Well,
I made it very clear.
Having reach is important.
No, I get that, but they often stamp out your reach.
That's true.
Because you're not a preferred.
While you have your reach,
So I can't back that even like that's not for me. But anyway, I do like Rumble for that reason. So all right. Next story is this is Ted. This is a
Okay.
Ted Reed.
After more than 40 days of political deadlock, the Senate has advanced a bipartisan deal to try to end what has become the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. By 60 to 40, senators cleared a key procedural hurdle late last night, signaling cautious optimism that the federal government could soon reopen. The new agreement funds government operations through January 30th, with full year appropriations for key departments like the VA, agriculture, and military construction extending through September. It guarantees back pay and reinstatement for hundreds of thousands of federal workers furloughed or forced to work without pay since the shutdown began. They would have gotten that anyway. The deal came together after weeks of tense negotiations and growing pressure from both the public and federal employees. Moderate Democrats broke ranks to vote treasonously with the Republicans, allowing the measure to move forward despite disputes over healthcare policy. In other words, the Democrats won the election and then turned around and surrendered. Senate Majority Leader John Thune described the bill as necessary first step to get Americans back to work while continuing negotiations on broader issues, including ACA premium subsidies. Chuck Schumer, the Senate Democratic leader, opposed the measure, calling it a half step that concedes too much to the conservatives and leaves the health protections unresolved. Still, a handful of centrist Democrats argued that reopening the government was the higher priority, noting the economic and operational strain on the country. The measure now goes to the House, where its fate is uncertain. I'm not really clear why, Manila, the fate would remain uncertain. The Republicans control the House of Representatives, and they always vote lockstep. Several hardline members have already vowed to reject, however, any bill that doesn't include additional spending cuts and border security provisions. If it passes, lawmakers face deeper questions about how future funding battles will be handled and whether bipartisan cooperation can survive in a hyper-partisan climate. For now, the Senate vote offers a temporary reprieve from paralysis, but there's no guarantee that the lights will stay on. I don't understand this at all, Manila. I mean, Democrats won a really unusual sweep in an off-year election. It's unusual that an off-year election has any kind of message to be taken away from it. This one clearly did, and the Republicans lost, right? So why on, and they were being blamed in all of the polls for the shutdown. So whether that's fair or not, they were being blamed. So why would Democrats snatch defeat from the jaws of victory by caving in? Why wouldn't they just tell Republicans to go fuck themselves?
Honestly, I think it's the SNAP issue. And this is a temporary thing. I mean, I haven't read. Yeah, I haven't read. I don't even know if they've actually issued a draft of what this supposed deal looks like. I haven't seen it floating around yet. But if these key points are what they say they are, is that it's a temporary thing to get us through the holidays, and then we're back in the rut come January 30.
Ridiculous.
Is it really a concession if everything is kind of just temporary and then saying just buying more time? I think really the Democrats.
Question is yes, it's a concession. Look, it's the end of the ACA.
And even if it's temporary,
it's the end of the ACA because the problem is right now, as we're talking, Manila, we are 10 days in to the enrollment period for next year's ACA. So people are right now deciding, whether, which plan they're going to get on the ACA. 42 million Americans rely on this. So they're deciding what plan to take or whether to say, I can't afford it at all. So basically right now there's no subsidies. So the subsidies, so people's insurance rates in some cases are going up by 4 or 5 times. I mean, some people's rates, like John, for example, on the previous show, Deprogram, his rate is going from $900 to $1,900 a month. That's not unusual at all. Mine's going from like $460 to I think $2,200 here in New York. I mean, this is a big difference per month, right? I mean, that's real money. So a lot of people, I mean, I'm going to say probably about 10 or 15 million Americans are going to fall off the ACA as a result of this. If they kick this can down the road, it's sort of like effectively the ACA starts to disintegrate. It was barely hanging on as it was. And then that's going to also drag the entire private insurance system down too, because that's subsidized by the ACA indirectly. By election day of next year, the healthcare system is going to be in a major crisis. And I mean, it could be that these Democrats are banking that the voters will be pissed off at the Republicans, but they're taking a hell of a chance. The voters might be pissed off at them.
Well, do you think it's that, or do you think they are looking at the whole SNAP thing as
I don't think they give a shit
reason
about poor people who are hungry
you don't
and need and
you don't think they're like, okay, food now, ACA later?
No, I mean, look, no. I think this is about I think they're scared about the planes. I think they're scared that they're going to be blamed for all the delays over the Thanksgiving holiday. I think that's what this whole thing was about.
You think it's travel?
Yeah. I think because they don't give a shit. This is American capitalism. The American capitalist system doesn't give a shit about poor people. In fact, it's psyched that there are poor people. The more poverty there is, the lower the costs are for the man, right? So this is basically like, yay, poverty. Poverty is part of the system. It's baked into the system. They need poverty. They need poor people. And then for the rest of us, it scares us because it's like, oh my God, that could happen to me. No, this is about the people they really do care about are the middle class and upper middle class people and business and individuals and businessmen who travel. And they think that, and they're already seeing 2,000 delays yesterday. According to FlightAware,
I heard 3,000.
And well, it's a lot. And it's like, there's a ripple effect from from those delays beget other delays. It's only going to get worse. And this is a time of the year when not that many people have been traveling, but that's about to change. I think they're scared. They were staring down the barrel of the Thanksgiving travel season. That's what this is really about.
Well, I mean, I guess there's a part of me that's
Trump could pay those air traffic controllers. He has all that tariff money sitting around.
Well, Trump did try to demand just last night. I mean, I don't know where the fight is as of the last 6 hours, but as of last night, Trump was saying he was going to punish states who were filling the SNAP coffers at all, even at half pay. Because we've talked about this all last week, was that for example, in the state where I live, Governor Youngkin said, we're going to issue out X amount of emergency reserve money into the SNAP program, and you'll at least get half your SNAP benefits if you're in Virginia. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it's a state's, how they dole out the money is a state's thing. Trump is basically saying he's going to punish those states if you issue any SNAP payment. So that he's basically telling Governor Youngkin, I'm going to punish the Old Dominion state.
Don't feed poor people.
Don't feed poor people, Youngkin.
Yeah, fuck them. Let them die.
So I like to think that this is a major voting issue for Democratic voters. I think, I'm not sure, because we know there's a lot of Trump voters who are SNAP beneficiaries,
sure.
Right? So, but maybe in both parties, maybe there's an equal share. But I like to think
there's a disproportionate number of poor people on the Republican side now.
Is it disproportionate?
Yeah, there's far more poor people who are Republican. Hilariously.
So I like to think that the Democrats at least think this will be a winning talking point next year. That's what they think. They'll push it through.
They're taking a hell of a chance, and they're playing with people's lives.
The ACA thing, that's a tough rub, man. I mean, isn't it against the law because of the ACA to not have insurance now?
Not anymore. No, remember Trump
took
changed
that part away
during his first term.
Oh, I don't remember. I didn't look into
it. Now you don't have to prove that you have, on your taxes, you don't have to prove that you have insurance and get fined and all that.
Yeah. Oh, well.
So nothing happens now.
So are we back to the old days, like in the 90s, where you can just free ball it and hope that you don't get in a car accident, basically?
That's it. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like now.
Just
And
wear like football pads everywhere you go, and
maybe stay home a lot.
like, yeah, well,
Although you can be injured at home, they say that happens a lot.
Tad, you had that injury.
I did in my own bathroom. My
Your
bathroom
own slip
attacked me
and
in the middle
fall.
of the night.
Well,
Bastards.
do you know most I mean, outside of heart attacks and things like that, which obviously tend to happen at home for obvious reasons, right? I mean, like look at Gene Hackman and his wife. Ugh.
Right.
Yikes. But
Well, at least they
most
died with dignity.
Oh God. Oh, I'll get into this. Let me hang on to that Gene Hackman thought. But anyway, did you know that based on like insurance, and I read really weird shit, Ted. There's an insurance like magazine or industry paper type thing that I read.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I lead a very exciting life, and I know.
Yeah, you always
But
trade journals are so thrilling.
I know. But one of the things I learned, one of the interesting things I learned in that particular trade magazine was that the vast majority of of ER visits, like survivable, non-fatal, but still major injuries,
Mm-hmm.
all happen either at the home or within a 2-mile radius of your home, because that's when you are the most, basically the closer you get to home, the more likely you are to actually get injured.
Is that just because people just spend more time at home than anywhere else?
No.
Or
It's
is it because people are more relaxed? Like
That's it.
like in the same
That's
like
it.
sort of like in the New York Transit Authority, the track workers who are most likely to get electrocuted by touching the third rail accidentally are those with an average of 20 years of experience.
Yes, that's exactly it. It's because you get more relaxed and you're like, this is my hood, this is my zone, I know where I'm at. And you have like, it's
So you let your
overconfidence.
guard down.
Yes. And that's why most non-fatal car wrecks happen when you are real close to your house, blocks from your house,
When you're
blocks
feeling
from your
safe.
apartment.
That's
Yeah,
when
you think
when you least expect it.
That's exactly it. Or when you're at your house, you're like, I know my property. I know how to clean these gutters. I've been doing this for 15 years.
You fall off the roof.
I think exactly right.
Oh,
So,
but if you were rock climbing, you would be more careful.
you're more exactly. That's exactly it. So, you actually need to be more mindful at your own home because it's a psychological trap, and you will more likely end up in the ER because of some dumb shit at home. Huh, there you are.
That sounds like, I mean, look, that speaks to me. I could totally see that being me. Go
I'm
full spectrum retard.
I'm naturally, well, I think I was born kind of klutzy. Like for example, I always I wanted, even though I'm not girly girl, I love the ballet, right? Like I think because it's the thing I don't have, right? Like it's the grace and I'm fascinated by ballet. I think it's so beautiful and such a beautiful art, and it's so relaxing and pleasant to watch. And these are like specimens of like the human form. Do you know what I mean? Like just they're so athletic and strong. And so I always wanted to be a ballerina, not because I'm a girly girl, but just because it's not something I can do. It's just I just can't do it. Oh God, what is my point to this? I'm getting senile. I'm getting Joe Biden brain.
Senile.
It's true, but anyway, when I really seriously lost my train of thought about getting lost in like the whole idea. I was thinking of like the ballet in my head, and I'm like kind of lost in. But anyway, it's a very relaxing thing. I don't know why.
This was about the feeling relaxed and that kind of thing. You're a big fan of the ballet.
Oh, I'm naturally a klutz, so I couldn't. I asked my parents to put me in ballet. I was not good. I wasn't recommended for even the class because I'm naturally kind of a brute. Even though like I'm a petite Asian woman, I'm kind of rough. And I had to accept that about myself. Like I'm not made for that, right? And because I used to always injure myself as a kid, I had to teach myself to become very, 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 very careful and very, very, very mindful. because Ted, you have no idea before the age of 10, between 5 and 10, how often I was in the ER. You have no idea how many times little Manila was getting stitches, like in my feet, in my knees, and on my scalp, on like just, I was a train wreck of a little girl. Like, I was what you would imagine a little boy would be, right? Except I was like in a little girl. So my mom had to give up on putting me in these cute little frilly dresses and understand, like, okay, that's not the kid, that's not the daughter that I was given, right? I was running around playing like American football, not soccer, American football, tackle with the boys on the street, playing street hockey with the boys, and getting injured all the time. So I've had to learn that I need to be very careful, and it's proved very helpful because when I see, I'm sorry, I'm not reveling in your injury in the bathroom, but I know you, like my husband, like just a lot of people. I see this insurance statistic in real time over and over and over and over and over, and that's all I think about is, see, you think you're safe in your home. You think you're safe.
It was just when you thought it was safe to get up and pee.
It's the most dangerous place. It's actually like you get up in the middle of the night to pee. If you don't have, I have like sensor night lights everywhere because, like, when you have a little kid, there's trip and fall hazards everywhere because you might step on a Lego, you might, like trip on a hula hoop going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and you will fall, smash your head, bust your lip, whatever. I've known stories that I've covered in local news of people dying in the weirdest ways in their homes, right? Slip and fall, hit your head, drown in the bathtub. Like just some shit, Ted. So I know. I know. And then going back to the
There was a
Hackmans.
lady in my building. She fell in her bath. She didn't die, but she fell in her bathtub. And she didn't have a phone with her or near her. So she was in there for 3 fucking days until she was finally able to rally.
Alive, you mean?
Alive and crawl. She subsisted by drinking the water out of the tap. And,
well,
and she finally was able to make it to the phone. I'm like, God, that's a certain hell. I mean, it is a hell. There's no question.
This is what I mean. People, that's why, I don't know about everyone else, but I find that trade publication very interesting.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure. Trade
dorky
publications can be fascinating.
It is a dorky, and I also read like supermarket trade publications.
Huh.
And trucking. It's basically domestic shit. Like,
I've read restaurateurs ones.
Like I've read,
and also it affects, once you read like how the sausage is made, it affects your behavior. I mean, like for example, with I read one for bar owners, and they were saying like, oh, studies have shown that you will sell more drinks if you make the ambiance of your bar loud and echoey. And also if you make the bar as uncomfortable as possible physically, like if you make the seats uncomfortable, basically you want to make people really miserable, but not leave, because because basically they self-medicate and order more drinks to numb out,
to accommodate,
to like
shitty.
That's why I was like, I'm, you know what an HSP is, right? A highly sensitive person.
Oh,
I bet you are one.
Yes.
You have to take the test. It's kind of like, it's controversial whether it's a real psychological thing or not, but it's certainly a personality phenomenon. And basically it'll ask you like, oh, do you get irritated by large crowds? Do you get bugged by like loud noises? And I'm like off the charts. And like,
yes, on all of those.
So for me, the best bar, you walk in, it's got cozy booths. There's the barkeep and like one barfly talking softly. The music is low. There's no TVs on the wall, and everything, and the music's low, and it's chill and boring. That right there is a Ted Rall special, and I could hang out there for hours.
I will take a lounge over a bar
But a
any day.
loud bar where it's bustling and it's like you
That's right.
have to shout to hear yourself, where the music's blasting, where it's echoey. I'm the seats like are torture
Yeah,
devices. I'm
but that
out.
is something you like when you're like 22.
I never liked it.
Oh, never? I mean, I
Never.
didn't mind it at all in my
I
early
just assumed that
20s.
that's what going out was, and I didn't realize that there were other options.
Right. That's I guess I didn't mind it until I discovered things that are like lounges or other atmospheres, that these other places existed, and I was like, "Oh," and it's still in my 20s when I discovered those, that I was like, "Yeah, that's more my speed." But
Mhm.
I'll just say this, and then we'll move on, is I'm the princess and the pea. Like,
And the
this,
P, not in the P.
yeah, and princess and the pea. That's what I said,
Okay.
and.
Okay.
Princess and the pea.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Princess and the pea. I know the story because that is me. Like, I'm the kid that if the stitches on the sewing, like the stitching on my socks, if they ever bought me the stitches that went across the front of your toes and not at the top of your over your
Mm,
toes, I would be irritated all day at school, pulling on my socks.
sure.
I hated that. It bothered me psychologically all day.
Yeah, I'm that way
I
too.
go to bed every night. I have to like dust off the sheets every night because I will feel every tiny speck, every tiny crumb, every little thing that might have been stuck to your pajamas when you go to bed. I will feel it. I will find it, and it'll keep me up at night. And I don't care how exhausted I am, I will have to get up and dust off that little speck that I can feel somewhere. So, yeah, I have, like, major sensory issues when it comes to that. So, yes, I don't need
Yeah,
to take that test.
we're similar on that.
I'm that way. So, yeah. Anyway, okay, we'll move on to the next story. I guess this one's a Manila story
Yeah, it
all
is.
day long. Against you stupid men, Ted.
Yeah, I will have thoughts.
You stupid men.
The worst.
Okay.
We're the worst. What did we ever do except run everything?
Stupid men. So, okay, over to the ride-sharing world that's apparently everywhere, including Saudi Arabia, Ted, if you didn't know. Did you know?
I did know.
It's true. 2 separate class action lawsuits have been filed against ride-hailing giants Uber and Lyft by male drivers claiming they were discriminated against because of their gender. The legal action centers on the women-only ride features offered by both platforms, respectively. They have their own nicknames for them, which allow passengers, generally women or even non-binary users, to request drivers of a specific gender. The plaintiffs argue those features unfairly cut off job and ride opportunity access for male drivers and
Obviously.
reinforce harmful gender stereotypes.
Correct.
Specifically, the lawsuits allege that the policies, 1, limit male drivers' access to the same volume and same type of rides their female counterparts actually receive. They say it implies male drivers are higher risk or unsafe, branding them as less desirable simply because they are male. And it violates California's UNRRA Civil Rights Act, which bars sex discrimination by businesses. So, according to the court filings, Uber introduced the women's driver hustle in select U.S. cities back in 2023 and even earlier in Saudi Arabia, while Lyft's comparable feature, Women Plus Connect, also launched in 2023. Both companies say the options were created in response to thousands of safety complaints, including numerous alleged sexual assaults by male drivers. Plaintiffs argue that a race to safety doesn't excuse gender-based exclusion. Supporters of the policies maintain they boost women riders' comfort, and safety in a market where data shows the vast majority of accusations involve male drivers and women passengers. Opponents, however, say the functions amount to workplace discrimination by barring qualified male drivers from equal earning potential. The lawsuits spotlight a growing clash in the gig economy, balancing rider safety and inclusivity with anti discrimination protection for workers. For now, the courts will have to decide whether safety driven preferences can stand when they exclude based on gender, and whether platforms that once promoted everyone drives must now re examine how they protect both passengers and drivers. So I've not yet used the the request for like a female driver only. Back when I didn't drive, when I still lived in downtown DC, I did frequently use Uber. And I'll tell you, Ted, I had one too many gross and inappropriate experiences with the drivers and how they treated me. And I think I've shared this story once on air here, with the drivers like either hitting on me or like making a point of where I lived or asking to be invited into my apartment. Like really inappropriate shit when they're bringing you home, after a night out with friends or whatever. It's 2 o'clock in the morning and a male driver sees that you're alone and it's not a good feeling. I'm not saying this happened all the time, but it happened enough times for me, more than once, more than three, that I went back to hailing cabs on the street. Because I've never had a cabbie be weird to me, but I've had strange dudes.
Happen.
Of course, it could happen, but my experience in the thousands of cab rides I've taken in my life around the world, right? Like literally in all countries I've been to around the world,
sure,
I've used cabs. I've never had a cabbie give me the creeper vibes, give me the rapey vibes, give me the, oh my God, you're stalking me vibes. But at least half a dozen times in the early 2010s, when Uber launched or became like a thing, I definitely had one too many, at least half a dozen times, that stuck with me and really kind of gave me some distaste for male Uber drivers. And I know, like, when I'm by myself, right? Like, not a problem if I'm with other people, but it's late at night, it's, stuff like that. I kind of gave myself parameters of when I would use Uber by myself. And it was never late at night. It was never, like after a bar. It was never like that. Otherwise, I'm just hailing a cab on the street. Because of this, there's been creepy ass dudes, because anybody with a car and car insurance can be an Uber driver. And like, that's it. Like, there's no background check. Like in New York City, like I know that cabbie, a Ted Rall, you had to have a medallion. That shit costs money. I know that you're not going to risk that shit. You know what I mean? You got skin in the game.
Well, that's not true. Like, you like, I didn't have a medallion. A medallion cost like $200,000.
Somebody had a medallion. Then
right.
How did you
so
get it?
I rented my taxi from a guy who had a medallion. The more to the point is a driver for, like, say, the New York City, a yellow taxi driver in a place like New York City is licensed by a governing authority. In New York City, that would be the Taxi and Limousine Commission. They have to go through a rigorous licensing and security check, on their record. You're not allowed to, if you have a criminal record, you're not likely to be allowed to, drive a cab, that kind of thing. So they do check that stuff out. I'm really torn about this. I mean, is there a genuine problem? Sure. I knew a guy who worked for my garage, and he bragged to us that he raped his passengers.
Well, I'm not saying
and
it
he's like,
doesn't
oh,
happen.
it was so great. Like, I had this girl, she passed out drunk in the back of my
Oh
car.
my
I went
God.
back there and fucked her. And like, there's nothing we could do about it, because, like, if we'd called the police and said this, They're not going to investigate that. It was the 1980s. It's like, that's just a guy talking. I mean, you have to have specific, like, direct knowledge of something happening before you could report a crime. But he was a creeper and a monster. He was a yellow cab driver. And so
I'm sure it happens.
it's a
I'm
real
sure
fucking
bus
problem for
drivers,
women.
I'm sure.
As it was, I mean, look, even I got like hit on by like gay guys and stuff as a cab driver, and by some women too, obviously. But the point is that, like, it is a genuine issue, and it's obviously more of an issue for women than for men, obviously. And it's kind of like, if I were a woman, would I have a male gynecologist?
Like,
No,
if you
I
have
wouldn't.
a preference, that's what I'm saying.
So I get all that. I get it. But that said, you have to balance that against the right of a male driver not to be discriminated against by his own employer. And that is discrimination. I mean, it's assuming that it's assuming that all guys are rapists or possible rapists, and they're not. And so it's it's really, really tough to know where to come down on. But I think these lawsuits make sense. I don't think that, sort of a systemic, like, you can choose to just have a female driver it's not an elegant solution to what is actually a genuine problem. I mean, the genuine problem is it's impossible to resolve completely, but you can certainly do stuff to mitigate it, right?
When
Like,
you book
can
a
do
massage,
security
Ted,
checks. Yes.
when you book a massage, I know at the places I go to, when I book a massage, and I don't ask for anyone in particular, a specific masseuse or masseur, they'll say, do you care for, a
Sure.
male or a female? And I'll say, no, I have no preference. But if
I always
you have a
prefer a male
preference,
because they're stronger, and
I actually prefer a male masseuse because they're stronger.
Massage. I want them to beat the shit out of me. But
Right.
yeah.
Well, although I did have I go to occasionally a Chinese massage place, and there's this very large Chinese woman, a large lady, like
So maybe
almost
she
6 feet
she
tall.
can get the job done.
Oh, I love her, and I was
She's
really
like
sad when she
mighty-ighty.
went back. She went back to China, for whatever reason. I think I guess she'd been in the U.S. long enough, and she wanted to go back with her kids. But I was really sad when she left, because that woman could knead. Like, that's some hands, man. Whoa. Like,
I like that.
big lady, big Chinese lady. I was like, yes, her. Want her. Like, but anyway,
Fantastic.
I generally ask for men too in that instance. Although I will say, one time, not because I asked for a man, but I went to a random place. Somebody gifted me a massage thing to a place I'd never been to, back home in California. And I would swear I could have made a case for sexual assault. I'm fucking naked under a sheet, and this masseur, I'm not going to get into the details, but he'd gotten much closer up in my inner thigh, too close to my lady parts, like where dude, that's no. Like, and it one too many times, and he was making comments about, like, my figure, and I was so fucking uncomfortable, and I was like, I gotta call this. Like, I gotta go. And I just left. But it's that type of shit that women experience, which is why gym spaces, for example, why there are so much uproar about, like, trans women walking around, just because you put on earrings or slap on some lipstick, but you're walking, your schlong slapping around in the gym, why women are uncomfortable, biological women are uncomfortable with it, because we've had experiences like I'm describing. And I feel like this is a cheap move. I get that the men have the rights to complain and whatever, if you're, an Uber driver or Lyft driver or whatever.
Right, not to be treated as a second-rate gender, right?
I get that. But until you can secure that I have the right to not be fucking raped or groped, unless you can you can
That's a
ensure my
given.
safety. Unless you can ensure my safety is paramount to your right to get more rides.
Oh, I don't know about that. Is that true? I mean,
I feel
is your
no, I'm
parent,
saying it
or
should
you
be.
could spin it. That's one way to look at it. The other way to spin it is your paranoia like more important than my right to make a living for me and my family? I mean, that's the other way to look at
No,
it,
I
right?
would say most women aren't very I'm not for the most part, like, I'm just kinda sensitive with the Uber
I
thing
mean, look,
because it's happened
full
so many
disclosure,
times,
when I
but
was a taxi driver, I discriminated against women. If there was a man and a woman
what do you mean, picking them up?
standing, yeah, I wouldn't pick up women if I could avoid it
Why?
because they don't tip.
Really?
Women are terrible tippers.
Women
Yeah,
don't tip?
women are cheap as shit. Anybody in the chat who's ever worked in the service industry, help me out here. If you're a waiter, if you're work in a restaurant or whatever, women are like, they under tip, or they usually just under tip. So they're a
Huh.
pain in the ass. Like a man will be much more direct. They will be less demanding, and they will pay better. So I learned this the hard way. I like women better than men as people. And so it's like,
Except when they're your bosses, Ted.
well, exactly. Cause there's that thing. Women are bad with like money stuff. Like they don't, like I've never had a woman give me a woman boss give me a significant raise, or maybe any raise. It's like, they just don't care about you. They just care about themselves. So like, I think it's a great story. I'm glad you brought it up, Manila, because it's one of those like, I can really argue this either way. I mean, at the same time, like, why should a woman, who obviously the average woman is smaller than the average man and is more
Sure.
vulnerable, why should she subject herself to being in a car with a total stranger, maybe in
A
the middle of
private
nowhere in many
vehicle.
cases, if she doesn't want to, if she doesn't feel comfortable. I get that too. I get it completely. So it's hard. I mean, this is one of those things where it's like,
Look,
but also
Ted,
those
I have
men have a
hailed
right not to
taxis.
be discriminated against for their gender. It's like
I have
both
hailed
concerns are
taxis.
valid.
I have hailed taxis in the early 2000s in New York City where they pull over, I open the door and it fucking reeks of cigarettes.
Hmm?
And back then I still smoked. However, I'm not an indoor smoker, right? So I don't want my hair and all my clothes like
Sure.
I don't want to sit in
So you didn't want to get
a
in.
I didn't get in. So I closed the door and I said, "Oh,
Well,
never
and
mind. Thank you.
similarly, back when you could
Thank you."
smoke, and that's when I was a taxi driver and you could smoke in taxis, I had a rule, which was that if the person asked permission to smoke, I allowed it. If they just lit up, I threw them out.
The well-dressed nerd says, "I have to agree with Ted on the tipping thing."
Nerd always
Huh.
disagrees with me on politics.
Wow. Women are bad tippers? I didn't
Women, oh no, women, it's
know that.
notorious. I'm like, this is like not even a debatable point. Anybody who's ever worked in the
I'm gonna
service
look that
industry
up.
will tell you women are cheap.
I'm gonna
It's
look that up. I would think the opposite. I would think women were more generous.
why?
Because I
Why
don't
would you
know,
think
because
that?
women are
Women are
generally
meaner. I mean, like women are
to the
likely
service provider?
women are meaner. Like women will also rat you out. Like if
Well,
you
that's
fuck
true.
up
Women are
at work,
Karens.
they'll call in a complaint.
That's true. That's true.
Men won't do
That's
that.
true. Because I'm willing to bet the viewer that ratted out Robbie is probably a woman,
Oh,
a Karen for sure.
100%,
For
right?
sure,
No
Karen.
question. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Men are more
Adrian
chill. Men have this cognizance, sort of like, you don't fuck with a person's living, like
yeah.
it's really important.
Well, I think of it that way. Adrian says, "I only want women touching me. Haircut, massage, waxing, dentist."
Oh, dentist women are definitely better. They have a lighter touch.
I don't know. It's never as a dentist, that's never bothered me.
And I love my dentist, and he's a dude, but man, I come out of there like I just came out of
Really?
Guantanamo. Yeah, no, it's rough.
You're like, "Oh."
Like when you spit out and there's all the little capillaries all over, the little gunks of like gum tissue. It's like totally like Marathon Man in there. Fucking horrible. You
I don't
have
know.
a
It's never
problem with
occurred to
your
me.
teeth.
That has never occurred to me. And you know what? Now that I think of most of the males that I've had as masseurs, most of them were gay.
Oh,
Hmm.
I've gotten. By the way, gay guys tip great.
Oh, I love my gays. I mean, I told you in
I'm just
LA,
saying,
like I
like, yeah.
hang out
Oh, the worst is
hang out
old
in West
women.
Hollywood.
Holy shit. One time I actually, like, I had this woman, she lived on, I think it was Park Avenue. And she's like, she pressed
Park Avenue.
the quarter tip, a quarter. She pressed it into my palm, like grinding it in there. Like, and I threw it at her. I said, you obviously need this more than I do. Fuck
She
you.
like begrudgingly gave you a quarter.
No, she didn't begrudgingly. It's like, here you go, young man. You're welcome. Oh
Don't spend it all in one place, Ted.
I was enraged. I'll tell you the worst woman I ever had, and I had a lot of bad women in my cab. My worst woman ever. So I pick up this. So it's like early evening. It's a guy and a girl. The girl's drunk. The guy walks her over, stumbling to my cab, puts her in my back seat, and he gives me a 20. He says, "This is all for you. Just make sure she gets home safe and sound." It's like $10. I get her to her home. And then she's like, by this point, she's like woken up, and she's like, I'm like, here you go. And she's like, well, I'm like, well, what? And she goes, where's my change? And I'm like, you don't get change. Like, you didn't pay me. Like, he paid me. He said, get her home, and this is all for you. Yeah. And she's like, I'm going to go to the police. That's my money. You're keeping my change. She was screaming. I had to give her the money.
Oh my God.
She was such a shrew, like a witch.
I didn't know that. I mean,
she's probably A.B. Klobuchar now or something. But anyway. All right. I'm dying to get to this next story, Manila.
All right. One last comment. Nerd says, I definitely prefer women doctors, dentist, barber, masseuse, obvi, anything involving care or touch. So all you men prefer if it's a touching service.
Yeah, women prefer except for massage, because I want to be brutalized, but otherwise, yeah.
But most men, yeah. Apparently, the men in the chat prefer if somebody's like all up in your face or up in your pants, that it's a woman.
Yeah. Well, like, okay. Like, honestly, my urologist is a dude, and I kind of like.
But don't you?
I don't think I'll ever go back and see him again, because he went to town up my anus like it was the 1980s in a bathhouse, man. I mean, it was rough. I mean, it was like raw, and it was like I literally was like feeling violated for days afterwards. It hurt. It was like hurt. It was brutal. It wasn't like he had no game. I'm like. Like, you're in my anus, man. Fucking, like, dude, chill. And
the colonic place I used to go to in LA was all women, and the women were great. Like, tell you what to expect, and very gentle when they're, whoop in the rear.
Yep. That's what they do.
So, well, there you are. So, but it seems like a lot of the men in the chat prefer if it's, but I would think barber. Don't you want a guy barber?
If you're a waiter and you see a table of like 4 dudes as opposed to 4, or the dudes paying the bill as opposed to all ladies, oh man, if it's 4 ladies, you're about to have a bad evening. I mean, you're not going to get a good tip. And the other thing that women do, like when you're waiting tables, they'll be like, oh, can I get mustard? And then you bring them the mustard. Oh, can I get ketchup? Instead of being like, we need mustard, ketchup, salt, and an extra napkin, like a guy would do.
Well, that's me.
Yeah, that's me too.
But I'm kind of a,
you're more of a guy,
I'm a tomboy. Yeah,
that's a compliment.
Yeah. All right. I'm a tom. No, I agree. Thank you. All right. Last story. All right. Which is fun.
I love this one. All right. Since January, plastic surgeons in the District of Columbia have seen a wave of Trump insiders asking for procedures in line with Mar-a-Lago face, the look. President Trump is, of course, all about aesthetics And with him, bolder is always better, even when it comes to your face. As with the $100 million Arc de Trump or the revamped Lincoln Ballroom or the all gold Oval Office, bling, it's now quiet luxury is out and foghorn luxury is in. And some of the people in his circle are embracing that maximalist ethos when it comes to their image, surgeons say. Washington is typically an understated town when it comes to plastic surgery and clothing. It's like where Laura Ashley still rules.
Oh my God. And Taylor.
People want to look good, but they don't want it to be so obvious. They've had work done, says local plastic surgeon Troy Pittman, who works with a lot of Trumpies. But that's no longer the case since the second Trump administration. Now we're seeing people who want to look like they had something done, he says. And while old school beltwayers tend to be hush-hush about their tune-ups, the Palm Beach crowd is all systems go, he says. His MAGA-versed clients often will chat about procedures and trade recommendations about their doctors. Fillers are big, especially lips, as well as Botox and Dysport. What's Dysport? Do you have any idea?
Dysport. Yeah, it's like Botox.
Okay. DC plastic surgeon Anita Kulkami has had to turn down an influx of newly arrived right-wing insiders asking for a more done look, a Mar-a-Lago face. This aesthetic didn't fit her practice's understated vibe, but these people wanted extra fillers and injections on top of faces that already had lots of work done. She says that's dangerous. It's a situation she calls filler blindness. If you add more and more shit to your face and are surrounded by people who do the same thing, you lose sight of anatomic normalcy. So it ends up looking like that movie Brazil from 1984, or like the Hunger Games in the capital city. Anyway, Kulkami doesn't recall this happening during Trump's first term, maybe because there's more establishment Republicans in the mix back then. Besides which, plastic surgery trends tend to be regional, according to her, and it's typical for people to get more work done in places like South Florida, where many MAGA types are from. That could be why local plastic surgeon Navin Singh's male Politico patients veer more Republican than Democrat. They're coming from plastic surgery popular states like Texas. Speaking of dudes, they're looking for procedures to appear younger, more virile, and masculine, in line with Hegseth's rhetoric surrounding military fitness and appearances. For them, Botox, liposuction, and eyelid rejuvenation.
Ted, I gotta read Adrian's comment. He says, Trump really thinks he's handsome. Whatever the opposite is of body dysmorphia is, Trump has it.
He does. Yeah. Yeah, he thinks he's a good-looking dude. Yeah.
Look, when he was young and relative to the 80s.
When he was a People Magazine's, Bachelor of the Year.
Yeah. Relative to the 80s and what those looks, what looks were in. He was a handsome man in that era. Like 1986,
Sure.
Okay, I'll give him that. But we're 40 years past. But now, okay, we have made fun a lot of Kristi Noem, not the dog killing thing, but the whole look, right? Like running around playing ice agent with her like Prada heels or whatever, right? Like, but her whole look, like her giant, that's the look. That's what I'm saying. Like the ultra long fake eyelashes, Ted. This is the whole look. And I'm from LA. Okay. I'm from Los Angeles.
Nobody has plastic surgery in LA.
And I thought we were over the top until the Miami aesthetic came into play. And now it's Mar-a-Lago and it's here in DC. And I see it, Ted. Holy moly. Like, I've been in the district for over a decade now. And, Nancy Pelosi, soon to be retiring Speaker Emeritus, like Emerita, as they call her, I can't prove it.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to prove it.
But them jugs. Ooh.
Oh,
Woo!
I was thinking more about her.
Well, and the face. No, that too. No, all that. But the jugs, Ted. The jugs. No 85-year-old lady has. And then that look
From
is
now
the
on, we will all
overpulled.
be Gene Wilder.
Like it's the overpulled, like her face is pulled tighter than a drum. Yes, I can't prove it.
Oh, and the huge arch
The art, yeah.
eyebrows.
And so look, Joe Biden too.
Yep.
And every time he's had like little band-aids here and there, his people have always said, "Oh, well, he has, he always has melanoma. He's
Mosquito bite.
melanoma." They always say
Mm.
the vice president, even when he was as VP,
Herpes
the vice
breakout.
president, vice president had a melanoma treatment because on both sides of his face, he had band-aids right here like that. Yeah, we buy that. Yes. But now the look is Ted, it's cartoonish. There are girls walking around, girls, like, and I say girls because they're in their late 20s, maybe early 30s.
Sure.
They are so overdone in DC, Ted. Overdone. Like hair extensions,
yeah, it's
eyelashes,
it's the whole skank
lips,
look. Southern
like
skank.
the whole
yeah.
Giant lips, tanned and glossy skin. I was like, this is not DC 10 years ago. This is a different.
No, it's true. It's very weird too. Like, I mean, I don't.
Wow.
I mean, so I always wonder, like, what motivates people to want to fit in that badly. So okay, like you're in the administration. Fine, you're already in the administration, and you already have your look. Why would you think like, okay, because I'm with these people? Do you think it's subconscious? Do you think it's sort of like everyone like that one shrink the one plastic surgeon who was quoted? It's like basically that just becomes the normal surrounding, and if that's what you're used to, you're just like, oh, I just want to look like everybody else. Or do you think like it's a conscious like, well, this is the look, and I've got to, like hemlines are going up, got to get a shorter skirt. I mean, is it like that? I mean,
I think
I don't get it because I like the look that I like, and that's it. I don't care about the look that other people like.
The men are doing it too. Like I get women falling into I'm not against plastic surgery, like at all. Like, but I get for some people they want a whole different face and like Godspeed. If that's going to make you happy, which it statistically has proven that it doesn't, you usually have to work more on the inside. But if you want to do little tweaks and keep your face looking fresh and whatever, be the best version of you. I'm all for that for everybody. Like whatever that means, interpret that however you want. Do what you do to be the best version of you so you're happy here.
Sure.
But so many of these young girls here in DC, Ted, they really do. Everyone tries to look like each other here in DC. Before it was, like you said, the Laura Ashley, the Ann Taylor outfits, like your grandmother's pearls, like that's like blah. I mean, here was mid 30-something-year-old me, and there's 20-something girls wearing these like their grandmother's pearls and like 15-year-old Ann Taylor suits, right? Like Hillary Clinton dress pants, right? And then here's mid 30-something Manila rocking a Ramones like raggedy tank top, right? With my tattoos showing, cut off shorts, and Doc Martens, right? And I'm like, why are you at a bar dressed like that? Like, you're 10 years my junior. Why aren't you like flossing what your mama gave you? Like, why do you look like that?
It's fucked up.
But it's reversed now. Now it's these young girls doing the type of face work that like a 65-year-old lady trying to a newly divorced, gray divorced 65-year-old lady. It's that look now, trying to reclaim her 40s.
By the way, Hegseth just announced that they killed 6 more Venezuelans or whoever in boats.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, I read that we're like now somewhere in the 3 or 4 dozen Boat mommings.
Number 76.
Oh,
76 people have been killed so far.
6 dozen. That's cool.
Yeah.
No. Number of bombings or number of people?
No,
I'm saying bombings.
People.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I'm saying
we're at, I think, 7 or 8 bombings now.
No, more than that, Ted. We're at like 3. We're at like 30.
Bombings?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means
we're at like 3 dozen. So on average,
2.5,
2 to 4-ish die per event, and some of them survive. So anyway, talk about getting a new face. But anyway, that is the look. That is the look, Ted. And
it's a look, all right.
Do you men find that attractive?
Well, I can't speak for all men, but I certainly do not find it attractive. No.
Well, you said Kristi Noem is hot, and she is 60 apparently, or thereabouts.
Kristi Noem is, yeah, she's hot. It's the hair.
What about her hair? She has a lot of brown hair.
Is hot.
She has a lot of, she spends a lot of time with the curling iron.
Well, that's true. You can imagine
her hair is hot.
You can imagine it draped over your nether bits,
Like, I know, like, looking at her, I mean, whatever. She has, I don't know how many kids she has. I don't know. But I know her whole face. She's got the eyelashes. She's got the caked on makeup. And I think she's somewhere in her mid-50s, maybe up to 60. She looks great. She looks great. Fine. Great. It's a lot of work. But all in all, she looks good. That look is not for me. But, Philip Blair on YouTube says, I think it looks sad.
Sad?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a good look. I will agree with that.
It's not a favorite look for me. But but it's Tony J says body modification. Yeah, I mean, it's body modification, and people have been doing that. Yeah. Yeah. People have been doing that for millennia, right? Like changing.
Yes,
so I guess this is that. I hope this trend goes away. I'm not a fan. I think it's I just don't think it's a good look. I think people should try to age gracefully, naturally, and embrace. Nice. Yeah, and embrace. Well, Ted, not everyone can stay looking like you.
That's true.
It's sad. It's a sad look when you come here and see a 26-year-old congressional staffer, Ted, with fake eyelashes so heavy that they can barely keep their eyes open, right?
Fucked up.
And they have lip filler like so big that they can barely even like talk, like they're talking like this, and you're like, oh God.
Yes, like, why would you do that?
Why are you spending what pittance they pay you?
Yeah, that's a good point.
To get filler. Filler's expensive, Ted. Like one syringe.
And the other thing is, man, it's like a lot of shit that you do
$800
when you're young. It's like, I don't know, like spending too much time in the sun. It's going to have grievous consequences when you're older.
Oh yeah, like the women in the 80s that were all, or like Richard Burton. You look like an old leather bag, like literally. Oh God, that was the thing back then. So I wonder what's going to happen with this generation of young people now, who males and females. Males are getting the males are a little more discreet. Although I can't remember their name. I want to say Larry Ellison. No, maybe Larry Ellison and another one of these billionaires around Trump. Ellison and Peter Thiel. I don't know, but they, to me, look like they've had work done. Filler. Their skin looks.
Well, they're queenie looking.
Yes. That's coming from a straight guy. Yes, that's the way. Yes, I would say that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
RFK Jr. has spent too much time in the sun, says Adrian. Yeah, he's part of that era of the
Yeah, although
80s.
in
Like,
fairness to, I mean, certainly that's true, and I don't know the details, but we also know that Robert F. Kennedy is an avid outdoorsman.
yeah, that's
He
true.
hikes a lot. He's a falconer. He spends time outside. He lives in Southern
Falconer?
Cal. He's a falconer. He owns his
Like
own falcon.
he has a falcon. Oh,
Yeah, you don't know about his falconry? He
no.
has all sorts of exotic animals.
What?
Yeah, you don't know about that?
I mean, I knew he was like he
That's
sails, right?
crucial.
I know he sails and windsurfs and works out and whatever because he's a Kennedy and they do those things. But
Mm-hmm.
falconry? That's
Yeah.
very Saudi. That is very Saudi. Let me just say.
Well, I mean,
It's very Emirati.
Yeah, well, he rolls Emirati style. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He has a deep affinity for animals, man. He has a pair of ravens at home with Cheryl Hines.
Cheryl Hines lives with 2 fucking ravens?
He calls out to them. He goes, ah, ah, to summon them.
That's not.
It's true.
No.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. They have numerous dogs.
I get that.
And also, in the past, he had an emu.
That would be cool.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
He's also had hawks in the past.
This is very strange.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Well, I mean,
huge. Yeah, like he's a crazy animal dude.
well, look, the Kennedys, all of them, for all of their money.
His dog is not like any dog. He has a Newfoundland dog.
I heard that he's
which
got
are
all
like the
kinds of
size of a
ones.
small asteroid.
Yeah,
they have their own gravitational field.
I've heard. Look, the Kennedys are a good example. Apart from,
so he spent a lot, I think, with falconry and stuff. Of course, he's outdoors a lot. I bet he also
so apart from their skin naturally being pale, like Irish skin, apart from that, for the amount of money and whatever and access that they have, they embrace what the Kennedy gene looks like. I haven't seen one Kennedy change their whole face, like just, you know what I mean? Like male or female. I've not seen, because usually when you're from a rich celebrity family.
Yeah, like the most wild would be like, of course she was not ethnically a Kennedy, but Joan Kennedy, Ted's wife, who died recently. She was like your standard soignée political wife. She had dyed blonde hair and she had a lot of makeup, but so what? That's not the same thing. And she may have had like, this or that done, but it wasn't like, not extreme like this.
Tasteful.
It really is like like in Brazil with the horrible women with the shoe hats on their heads and stuff. I mean, that's what we're living in a very strange time, Manila, with very strange people in charge of our country.
Yeah. And they really are TV people that are not Manila and Ted kind of TV people.
No.
These are reality show people.
Right.
And
by their standards, like Sean Duffy is totally normal by their standards.
Yeah. So this whole, it is a strange time, and we'll just leave that there. It's a funny story that young and old in DC, that is the look now. I clearly have not subscribed to it yet, Ted. Maybe if I had a steady income, I might.
Yeah, that would be a very poor use of your money.
I might.
Better to find a SNAP recipient and like give them some extra cash.
Like, I don't, it's just not appealing to me, Ted. Even when I did have a steady income, it's just, I mean, I might have gotten some highlights in my hair, like colored my hair, but I'm not against plastic surgery. I'm not. Let me just say that, because who knows what I might want to do when I'm 60, like I might want to get a facelift or something, right? Like,
well, look,
who knows?
The way I feel about it is the way I feel about psychotropic drugs like SSRIs and stuff. Like, it's not like I'm not against them, but they're overused. I'm not against plastic surgery. It's overused.
Yes. Well-dressed nerd. Darcy and Stacy from 90 Day Fiancé. 110%. These women are only 50 years old. This is like, I watched that reality show, 90 Day Fiance, and these are the twin girls. Darcy, not girls, they're women. Darcy and Stacy Silva. And
I can't speak for that.
oh my God, Ted. Oh my, they've had so much work done, and they were pretty girls to begin with, and they're twins, right? And they just kind of went overboard. And even though they're only 50, which is 5 years older than me, they look so much older because they've had so much work done.
I believe it.
It can be a reverse effect. So these young girls that I'm starting to see out in DC, I would say they look older than their fresh-faced 26 years would. Their face betrays their age.
Probably time to wrap up. Just a reminder, we're not here tomorrow, but we'll have a...
Oh, I thought we were because of Veterans Day. I thought we're staying. Tomorrow's Veterans Day.
I thought you didn't want to.
No, I said we could stay because we're going to take a lot of days off Thanksgiving week. I said the opposite.
Oh, okay. All right.
Unless you don't want to do tomorrow.
No, I'm look, John and I are doing it. Like, let's do it.
May as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're planning on taking much of Thanksgiving week off, even though Ted hates Thanksgiving.
That's true.
Which you can explain again. But we're going to exploit the holiday anyway. I have family coming into town that week, so I would actually like to spend time with my family Thanksgiving. So we'll make up our hours.
Anyway,
I know. I'm one of these weirdos that like actually likes my family.
I was going to say it's an Asian thing, but that hasn't been my experience with Asians. But yeah.
Really? That's tragic. No, this is my in-laws are coming.
Oh, good.
I like my in-laws. Isn't that weird?
I liked some of my in-laws.
And they like me. That's weird.
I think my in-laws liked me more than they liked my ex.
You mean her parents is what you're saying?
And I'm not that great, so it's sort of like, shows how everything is.
Ted. That's a fucked up family.
Yeah.
They like the son-in-law better than their own kid.
Yeah. Besides being a big nose foreign devil.
That's true.
Anyway.
That's true. All right. That does it for us. It's a fun Monday. Lots more to talk about tomorrow. Have a great start of your week. We will be back then. Yes.
Yes. So enjoy Veterans Day with us here.
Yes. To all the veterans out there.
And if you're streaming later, thanks for watching.
Adios, amigos. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.